truly, Princess Toadstool. Peach.
Holy shit, 1,000 dump. You want to call into the stream? Just gonna be playing Mars and talking to people. Flash disc. All right, time to lock in. I'm not incredible at Mars, or I used to be really good at it. I still know a couple speedrunning. I'm not gonna speedrun. I'm just. That was embarrassing. Should hopefully get more entertaining when people join the call. Oh my god, did I just failed the long jump? It's gonna be a long stream then. Times or three. Hi Tails, how are you doing? You want to call in? Hop in the... Oh, what was that? That was an invisible wall. I don't know what the hell that was. Hello Tails. Tails YT894. How you doing? If you want to call in the Discord, the description. We need somebody to call in, make this more entertaining, because I can't solo Let's Play. I can't do it. I don't know how the Twitch streamers do it. Inviting a couple from 5 viewers. Oh my god. Somebody in chat tell me what they want to talk about, because I don't know what to say. Will I play this game? Up, down to 2 viewers. Okay. Whoever's watching, say something. I could chat. Up. Save it. There we go. Got a 3rd viewer. Hello, how are you doing?
Yeah.
What a long jump. Yo, who's this?
Wait. Are you live or something?
Yeah, I'm streaming. Live streaming.
Okay.
Who's this? Crimson?
Sorry for joining, I guess.
No, you're good. Do you want to talk to the live stream?
No, I thought.
Or do you want to just regular chat? No, I'm live streaming right now.
All right. Have fun.
All right, thank you. I like to do the 100 coins and the 8 coin time. And I don't want to do the 100 coins until very. Gotta shoot in the camp. All those.
Sorry. I was actually gonna talk to you about something, but I didn't know if I should, like, talk to you off stream or on stream.
Oh, you could talk to me on
Yeah.
stream if you want, but depending on what it is, obviously. What is it about? If you don't mind me asking.
I mean, obviously it has no problem, like, we said on the stream or whatever. And it doesn't have anything to do with you, but like, it's more with me. I
Yeah?
guess. I'm kind of scared of being recognized. but um, but yeah, the thing is, like, someone that commented on one of your channels. I think um, the one with 2.25k.
Demi and the Goons.
Yep, I've commented like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was looking through my activity and I've noticed that comment. And yeah, a lot changed like since that time. Obviously when I commented at that time, I was like, I know. Wait, I guess I can say it if it's not really me anymore. But anyways, I was this weird like.
Yes!
What do you call it?
This place is the bomb!
Sorry, that's the noise that
Sorry
plays when
about
Vivo
that.
joins.
I need to turn that off.
Yeah, but I was kind of like this weird, like, I guess you would call it neo-Nazi.
You're a neo-Nazi,
I was. I'm not, but I was.
but not anymore.
Like
Got you.
when I commented that, at least.
Do you mind if I ask how old you are right now?
25.
25, okay. And that was how many years ago?
2 years ago.
3 years ago or 2 years ago?
2.
2 years ago. Okay. You were 23. You didn't fully know yourself yet. I'm 20 and I don't know myself yet. I feel like that's you can transform a lot in your throughout your 20s.
Yeah, no, but
I feel like you can
that way-
transform any age. I mean,
I was
True.
that way for like years. Like it kind of like grew with me like since my teenage days.
Mhm.
it's funny this is the conversation we're having because I'm watching American History X for class, which is about like a neo-Nazi being reformed by just like becoming friends with a black guy.
No, to be honest, I guess,
What did you comment, if you don't mind me asking? Again, you don't have to share anything
yeah. It was-
to
it
my
was- it was
viewers
a
if you
comment,
don't want to. We only have like 5 people watching.
I mean, if I say why I commented, like people would be able to recognize me because I commented with my like name that I'm known by online.
Hmm.
So I can tell you off stream later.
Okay, that's fine. You're not
Yeah, but-
Michael Knowles, are you?
No.
Okay. Just making sure.
Demi, do you want to play Mario 64?
But
co-op?
No, not right now.
Yeah. Wait, I was gonna like hint to the comment by accident.
I think is B's username on YouTube what?
Yes.
Okay, B says this will be on the tip. Great. Do you want to talk more about your transformation, or would you rather do
Actually, it
that off
says, will this
stream?
be on the teat?
I guess sure. The thing is like I was kind of a hypocrite like during that time, I would say. But yeah,
But you've changed since then.
yeah. I
How
think
would
there's a lot
you-
to change still. There's a lot to change. There's some stuff I guess that are like we're embedded within my character, kinda. That I'm
Mhm.
trying to change. But yeah.
How would you identify politically now, no longer being a sort of neo?
Now, I would say like socially, I try to like be respectful across the board. Obviously, I do lean left. Economically, I would say I'm socialist.
Socialist, okay. Now, what do you think of nationalism overall?
Shut the fuck up, dumbass.
Sorry,
I think
bad
it's
joke.
retarded.
Bad joke,
think
bad
it's-
joke. I was calling you a national socialist on accident. Or not on accident, as a joke.
Not an accident.
Not an
Okay,
accident. Yeah. So I guess what do you think changed you from being a neo now a left leaning And when did that change occur? Sorry, if you feel like you're
say
if you
like-
feel like you're being interviewed, that you don't have to answer.
Yeah, no,
You
I
don't
would,
have
I would
to-
say like a year ago.
a year ago. And what do you think changed you?
This would sound cringe, but someone.
Someone you met someone,
Yep,
or did
I
you?
met someone
Was it in person or online?
online.
Online. And what kind of? Oh, sorry, I fell off the slide, Mike. What kind of person? Like, what did they show you, and what was your relationship like with the person?
It's not that they showed me something; it's that I saw something in them, and it kind of like opened my eyes.
What did you see in them?
Abuse,
Abuse?
a huge amount of abuse. From people who were kind of like me, like how I was, like hypocritical, who were like, you know, they were neo-Nazis, but behind closed doors, they're a bunch of, you know, homosexuals, gays.
Yeah. I was about to say.
Yep.
So you saw a lot of abuse in this person. Was this person also a Nazi, or
Not really, but they thought of them as one, I guess.
They thought of
They
themselves
thought
as a
of
Nazi?
themselves as one, yeah.
and you saw a lot of abuse in them from
Yep.
other Nazis, or
Yeah.
what kind of abuse? If you don't, and again, you don't have to identify.
I mean, I
Anything
don't know
you're
if I
comfortable
can
with.
like mention it on Twitch,
Hmm.
but physical abuse, I would say. Like, I don't know if you ever heard of like the R9K case,
I know R9K, the 4chan board.
but you know about the whole case with it. Like,
No, I don't.
all right, it was like some weird guy who would like, you know, target like teenagers in specific, teenage
Mhm.
boys. Whether they were like, you know, already gay or not, they would like start like, you know, it's kind of like doing to them what they claim like, you know, the trans community does to little boys.
So they tried to make them gay. There's a guy on R9K that tried to make teenage
Oh.
boys gay.
They make them gay, they make them go on hormones, and they make them like dress up and like do stuff for them for their own amusement and stuff like that.
I
Yeah,
I believe this.
I remember this. There are Discord servers of like. I think people
And-
tried
and-
roping
and not-
couples into it.
Not only that, they even go as far to like, yeah, that part I don't know if I can mention on Twitch, but it's related to like physical abuse
Hmm.
through like blackmail and stuff like that. One of them ended up, you know, I know how to hint at it, but he's not with us anymore.
Heavy.
Very heavy
hits.
stuff. Yeah.
Mhm. I mean that guy was like from a very conservative country as well, so yeah, and I think someone like leaked his stuff or whatever, and he just couldn't take it.
So you saw this happen, and you found yourself, I guess, sort of no longer. You no longer thought of the Nazi community or other Nazis in a positive light after this happened.
No, exactly. Like I thought of that specific group, and like, you know, I didn't think of them positive light at all. I hated them, I despised them, but I still remained as a Nazi for a while. But it's kind of like we'd like exclude those type of people. You might
Right.
have heard of them as well. Like, they call themselves like they identify as Nazis, but they also call themselves like traditional Satanists.
Traditional Satanist.
Yep.
No, I knew that there were. I know a little bit about like occult Nazism, but I don't know anything about traditional Satanist.
All right. So there's like two groups, one in the UK, one based in the UK, and one based in the US. They're not really like an organized or like centralized group. They're like decentralized and like most of their shit is like online and stuff.
It's mostly an
But
internet thing. Are they more new?
it is mostly internet thing, but it did come to reality during the time of Automorphin, if you remember it.
Automoff?
Yep, Automorphin.
What's that?
It was like an American like neo-Nazi militia,
Yeah, I can look into
and
that.
what was it called? There was basically like multiple groups from like multiple like European countries and whatever, under the umbrella of like Iron March. You ever heard of it?
I haven't. I apologize. I'm not super familiar with a lot of the stuff.
Yeah, but basically what happened is when it first started, when the Iron March, Atomov, and all of that like first started, it started as like just like extreme like neo-Nazi like arm yourselves stuff like that movements, right?
Mm-hmm.
But through time, like more and more people from like O9A and like Temple of Blood as well, which is the American branch, started like joining those groups. A lot of those groups saw them like as infiltrators and were like trying to kick them out or whatever. Other groups got infiltrated by them and basically followed their ways. And their whole stake is like with rejecting morality altogether.
Rejecting
basically,
morality altogether?
Yep. And calling it like quote unquote Jewish or Judeo-Christian.
Interesting.
So
And these people are, say, traditional Satanists?
yep, they call like the Satanic Church and whatever like LARPers.
Interesting. Because I know the Satanic Church, or the Church of Satan, is mostly atheist, right?
Yep.
But these guys are, like, I guess kind of like anarchists in the literal definition of the word. Like, they don't believe in any kind of, like, I don't know, order or morality or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's still like some stuff going on between them and like other Nazis who also don't like them.
And
they
were you a
basically-
member of one of these groups? Or did you align yourself with these groups? Or were these another group that made you
I
question your
did.
Nazi identity?
I did join one group, but I wasn't any of those groups, not the Iron March groups.
Mm-hmm.
The group that I was within, I cannot really name because it was a small group,
Yeah, absolutely.
and it also like made a name for itself not too long ago in certain events. So yeah.
So what about this group made you want to join them? What was appealing about it at the time, of course?
At the time, like I was this kind of like weird, I guess. I don't know how to explain to you, but like third positionist neo-Nazi third worldist. If that makes sense to you.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, saying anything that is anti-America as good.
Right.
So yeah, that group was basically like its whole stake was like pro-Russia, pro-China, blah blah blah, stuff like that. But there was something that I really disagreed on during the time. Not now. Now I disagree with all of it, obviously. But during the time, I disagreed with their like pro-Iran stance.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't because like anti-Muslim or whatever. No, but like more of anti the Iranian government. I didn't like the Iranian government at all.
Oh yeah, no,
because,
for sure.
Because of the
You're
stuff.
completely
they
justified
did.
in that.
Yeah, but another thing is because like the stuff that happened in like Iraq, Syria, Afghanistan, Yemen, Lebanon, all of that stuff. Like the Iranian government has a lot of blood on its hands.
Mm. Yeah.
And even during that time, like I knew that, and I always hated the Iranian government for that. But their whole thing is basically like, oh, you're against Iran for the people that they killed. Oh, the people that they killed were like American agents, stuff like that. I mean, like they just throw it all out the window. Like there was no children, no women that were killed. Somehow those children and women were like American agents as well. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I stayed with them for like, I guess, a couple of months. Later on, some drama happened between me and like some of its members. I really don't like talking about it, but yeah. But after that happened, like, you know, I would say I went the opposite direction for like a little bit, which is like anti um those like third worldists or whatever.
And what kind of movement was in opposition to those movements that you were aligned with at the time? Like you said, when you switched, what did you switch to?
Yeah,
ideologically?
there was many oppositions. Like I would say like the third worldist neo-Nazis, they almost have like the whole neo-Nazi sphere against them.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But the thing is, what do you call it? The ones that would stick out would be like the esoteric Hitlerist and obviously ONINA Temple of Blood. Those people. And then you also have like just your typical neo-Nazi who's like anti third worldist by default. But yeah, I would say like I started like hanging out more with like esoteric Hitlerists at that time after like leaving that group. I was still on good terms with the leader of that group. In fact, the leader of that group like DM'd me after that whole drama happened between me and the other members. And yeah, like he was being like all nice about it. He was like, you know, I don't care what happened. I don't care what they said about you. I don't care about everything. And even if it's true, it doesn't matter.
What did they say about you?
That was gay.
That you were gay.
Yep.
And are you gay, if you don't mind me asking? Or a member of the LGBTQ plus community?
I mean, I'm not really gay. I'm pansexual. But
Bisexual.
Yeah. Pansexual.
Pansexual. What are your pronouns, if just so I know what to call you?
Well, I don't even use the Maribel, but they them.
They them. So you're do you identify as non-binary then?
Yep.
But you don't identify as non-binary in real life, only on the internet?
Mm-hmm.
Why is that? You feel unsafe?
Yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, where do you live roughly? Like what country?
And I guess, yeah, in the third world.
In the third world?
Yep.
Okay. And are you Caucasian? Are you a white person?
Caucasian, yes. White, no.
What
I
is
wouldn't
your
consider myself white, at least.
what do you consider yourself ethnically?
That would narrow it down.
Yeah, okay. You don't have to. Fair. You said white, not Caucasian, or Caucasian and not white? I forgot.
Caucasian, not white.
Caucasian, not. Got you. So Nazis are typically not really trying to reach out to people in the third world. I am assuming.
It depends. It
But you
depends on the book.
found these third, call them third worldists.
Yep.
Third worldists. And were these people like local to your like region, or were they like just online, pretty far away?
There are people from like multiple different regions. There's people like from, wait, I'm not gonna. Okay, there's people from like Europe, people from America, people from Latin America, and people from other countries as well. Even like a country that's right next to my country. There's people there, and there's people in my country as well. But the thing is, the headquarters, or like the what do you call it? The leaders of the movement are in the US.
Interesting.
Mhm.
So I guess what like drew you to Nazism in the first place? Like when did you first find yourself hearing about these Nazi groups and finding yourself sympathetic to their?
Oh, it was a long time ago. It was when I was a kid. I mean, you probably
Was it in your
Um,
family
it-
at all, or
well, I heard about it from my family, but my family weren't really that enthusiastic about it.
Did they speak of it in a positive light?
No, just
Or-
like in a historical way, like
I
oh,
got you.
this happened this way.
Yeah.
like you mean like the Third Reich, like the original Nazis?
Yep.
Hi guys.
Hi, Arcane.
We're chatting with a former neo-Nazi right now who is non-binary. That's an interesting story.
That is an origin story of all time.
If you don't mind me asking, you might have already mentioned this. I'm kind of in and out, but this person that kind of helped you make this initial change in yourself, do you still talk to them?
Yep. We actually were dating.
Oh, that's
until
cool.
recently.
Are you currently dating?
No.
Do you still talk?
But you-
Yeah, we still do.
Still on
Like,
good
that's great.
terms? That's good. Is that
Yeah.
person?
I mean,
is-
the thing is, like, it's like when I saw the way that she's in, and how she was like, accused or whatever. It's like it was like a wake up call. I don't know, like over time. At first, I just like got her out of that circle itself.
and she's no longer in that circle, or no longer
Yeah.
and no longer a Nazi.
Yep. But then I was like, if I just like take her out for her own safety, but then I'm staying in, isn't that like a little bit hypocritical? And
Ah,
I kept like thinking of that like over time, and I was like, even like the stuff that these people believe in is like a lot of it's insane, like really insane. And I used to like keep telling myself that, oh, don't let these like online quote unquote neo-Nazis like fool you. That's not really what Nazism is about. Like that's what I was telling myself in my head, right? But it's like it was too much to like deny. And even like when looking back at history and seeing what actually happened during like the Third Reich and whatever, no, that is actually how they're like.
so if you don't mind, can we go back to the origin story, if you will?
Yeah.
How you originally found out about Nazism from your parents who weren't enthusiastic. What were your initial thoughts on like the Third Reich and all of that stuff when you heard about it first?
Yeah, when I heard of it, obviously, like I was like, that sounds cool, and whatever, and stuff like that.
Really?
I mean, I was a kid. Yeah, I was a kid that basically like liked, I guess, stuff about war and stuff about like waging war and whatever, and which was like, a little childish, I guess. at
A
the
little
time,
bit.
but- Yeah, But then later on, like when I grew up, I kind of like just forgot about it. But I still had that like kid memory of, oh, Nazis are cool. But I forgot why I thought they were cool. Like, but then like looking back at it, I'm like, oh, yeah, sure, it was just like a childish thought of like, what do you call it, war and whatever, and waging
Yeah.
war, and cool guy like Genghis Khan and like whatever. But anyways, so when I guess got into like middle school, that's when I started like looking more into it, and that's when I started like learning about these like neo-Nazi groups and whatever, reading their manifestos, reading their like programs and whatever.
Out of curiosity, when
yeah.
you say neo-Nazi groups, are you talking about like online groups, or are you talking about like actual?
No, like actual groups.
Nah.
Actual groups that are like parties, militias, stuff like that. That's when I started like reading about them like in middle school. And it's kind of like I also started like consuming these like kind of like videos that are basically propaganda, right? So
What kinds of videos? Like on YouTube?
yeah, like before Hitler came to power, Germany was crumbling, blah blah blah, stuff like that. People were selling their own children for a loaf of bread, and then he came and fixed everything.
Right.
Yeah, so this kind of stuff. And then you got like the other stuff about like basically fear mongering, videos that would like isolationally like select a small minority of like certain groups of people and make it paint it as if all those people are like that.
And we're talking like the Jewish people, the homosexuals, people with disabilities, stuff like that. Like the people who were the Holocaust targeted.
Nah, exactly. I mean, you're right on like Jewish people. That's a huge part of it, and like their propaganda. But then you also are right about like the homosexuals and the other one. I would say like blacks as well. Like they really hate blacks for some reason, especially American neo-Nazis.
Yes.
Like other neo-Nazis from other countries don't really focus on blacks that much.
Well, there's a lot of black people in America, so I think that's a big part of it. And also, it's racism against black people is almost like a core tenet of our culture, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very widespread issue we have here, and I think a lot of American neo-Nazis get into Nazism from their pre-existing racism. It reminds them of home when they hear about Hitler and his grievances with racial minorities and such.
Yeah, I was just about to say that they find a bit of like common ground with what's happening or what happened in Germany back then to what's happening in America now, because they perceive it as like degenerating into this like postmodern, apocalypse that they have to fight back against.
And Hitler drew a lot of inspiration from old America. American racism inspired the Third Reich as well. I believe Hitler had in his writings, don't quote me on this, I don't have a source, but I believe in Hitler's writings he talked about how America was great when before the Civil War and stuff like that. But you started watching these propaganda videos and started sympathizing with them, and I assume you started developing negative biases against Jewish people and homosexuals, blacks.
Yep.
And how like unpopular was that, or how did that affect your life? Did you tell your loved ones about these views you had, or?
Oh, yeah, yeah. I did. The thing is, the funny part is that a lot of people tend to like accept it easily, especially like people who are not really that much into politics.
Would you say it's more socially acceptable where you're from than, say, in America to identify
Maybe-
as a Nazi?
Yeah, maybe
Where are
it's
you
more
from?
socially acceptable where I'm from. Yeah,
They don't want to say where they're. They don't want to say the country they're.
Oh, that's fair enough.
yeah, but I think it is more socially acceptable where I'm from, like way more socially acceptable.
And at what point did you like consider yourself a Nazi?
Yeah, I would say like from middle school.
From middle school, you were a Nazi.
Hmm.
And did you have any like Jewish or homosexual classmates throughout high school and middle school, or even black classmates?
Nope.
No, not at all. I'm not sure.
But
I'm
no,
not
wait,
sure what
I
diversity is like.
I had black classmates and like I guess homosexual classmates as well, but not really Jewish ones, no.
I apologize for some of the weird questions. But it's like
No, it's all good.
what diversity there? Because like where I'm from, we all grow up with in America. We all grow up with Jewish, black, and gay classmates. I don't know what it's like where you're
but the
at.
thing is, like, with black people over here, like, racism is not really that much of a problem with them. Like, it's not like people are not really that. Sure, there is some people who are racist, but it's a very small minority that are like racist against blacks. There's other types of racism against other types of people, but not that much against blacks.
Got you. So I guess you started watching these propaganda videos, and they just all started making sense to you, and you didn't really question
Yeah,
them a whole
but-
lot.
The thing is, like, it's kind of like the ones on blacks didn't really make that much sense to me. Because I was like, okay, maybe that's just American blacks, right?
Hmm.
But I actually thought all American blacks are like that. They like, choose like isolate clips of like, bad people and are like, oh, all blacks are like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What kind of things were said about American blacks?
Like basically they show like a video of like, some black guy like, I don't know, Twitch is gonna like take this the wrong way or something.
I'm on YouTube.
But oh.
It shouldn't be too bad.
so
You can say whatever. I can delete the pod if I.
all right, so they basically like a video of like some black guy who's like going into like a grocery store and like knocking things down or screaming at the cashier, something like that, right? And they're like showing like multiple videos that are kind of like that, right?
That's a very interesting. I've never heard this stereotype. I've heard of like black people talking in the movies and fighting people.
No,
I've
no,
never
they
heard
have
of black
like
people
this,
like tearing down
this-
things
this,
at a
like-
grocery store.
yeah, they have this like the favorite like in the United States stereotype about like blacks is that they're what do you call it, short temper,
Short temper.
and like they say like that's like what do you call it, it's something that comes with like melanin. The more melanin you have in your skin, the more likely you're gonna be what do you call it,
Short tempered.
short tempered, obnoxious, something like
that-
that. Yeah, I
Aggressive.
forget like the exact they used, yeah, aggressive. Fine.
Can I ask, when they would make those proclamations, would you say that the general conclusion that they drew is that the reason why these stereotypes exist is because of something inherent to their race?
Yep.
Yeah.
And not only that, they also go on like just like isolate like studies that say that basically like support what they say, and they use it like. And a lot of those studies are like unscientific, or like basically outdated, or like something like that.
A lot of old race science that was pseudoscientific.
Mm-hmm.
And so, did you question any of the stuff, or did you like pretty much buy into all of it?
I did question. There are some people that got really angry when I questioned for some reason, and they thought of me as like, you know, a leftist commie. I guess like they have like communists and leftists like hiding under their beds or something. But yeah, but some people are like, you know, happy to like address them and would address them in a certain in a way that would like actually convince people.
Have you ever read Hitler's writings, or is anybody that you would know in that circle of or that group? Do you think they've ever read anything Hitler's wrote?
Yeah, they do, and they actually suggest the writings. But there's like this whole like debate around like what you call it, table talks. So you have the esoteric Hitlerists who accept it, and you know, basically neo-Nazi pagans who do accept it, Muslims who also do accept it. But then you have the Christians who are like, oh no, it's fabricated, it's all made up, and whatever. And this whole debate is basically because of how the book was like very anti-Christian.
How Hitler was very anti-Christian?
Yep.
Yeah.
So there were dissenting
So-
factions of Nazism within these groups. There were like different groups within.
Yeah.
the
There is
Nazi
different
group who
groups,
fought
and
different
a lot of
things
them
against
actually
each
hate
other.
each other as well.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So how long did you identify as a Nazi for again? Quite a few years.
Yeah.
And what so I know you talked about you met the person who you're now best friends with, who was abused by the Nazi community. Was there anything else like
The
and you
Nazi
talked about
community exposed. Sorry.
Alright. So once again, I just did the math. Actually, it's like 13 years. It's
13 years?
Inexact, yeah.
That's a long time. And you've only been not a Nazi for about a year now, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you
Which-
That's a little bit wild to hear. It's a little jarring. But like you've been very respectful, and you don't seem like you're aligned with any of that at all right now. Did you like I guess kind of just come to a dead stop after all that abuse happened, or did you still I think you said you still kind of ideologically aligned with Nazism after that, and you just tried to keep them away from it?
Yep. But then I slowly took myself away. It's like I still kept like some of their, what do you call it? Some of their social media, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where I can like, you know, just see what they're up to and stuff like that. But I don't really talk to them anymore.
Would you say that you were indoctrinated into it, less so than like coming to those conclusions on your own?
Yeah, I would say so. The thing is, like, the last group that I was in were also kind of like calling out neo-Nazis, and they're kind of also like going away from like neo-Nazism, but they're kind of becoming tankies. So it's weird.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So what point did you ideologically stop believing in Nazism? Because I know you talked about you stopped identifying with these groups because of your former partner, now best friend. But at what point did you realize that like not only were these groups really bad people, full of bad people who are doing bad things, but like Nazism in itself is wrong? When did you come to that conclusion?
Yeah, like I guess 3 or 4 months into dating.
Into dating them?
Yeah.
And what helped you
Because
realize
it's
that?
like a lot of the stuff that I heard from them that a lot of those other groups were like in one way or another connected to that group that like abused her.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it was like through one person or whether it was through like, person knowing a person.
Would you say the Nazi community overall is pretty like tightly knit? Like everybody kind of knows everybody overall, no matter which side of it you're on,
Kinda,
or is
but-
it mostly like more region specific?
Kind of, but not exactly, because like after the whole thing that happened with the Iron March and like the infiltration that happened, like from the traditional Satanists,
Mm-hmm.
those people were like isolated. Like
Mm.
no one talks to them anymore. Everyone like keeps like, what do you call it? Banning them like from their places, whether it was
Mhm.
like online or IRL, right? So they ended up going to like another isolated group, right? Which is okay. The name is kind of cringe, but it's actually a thing. They started going to the homophage groups.
Homofash?
Yep.
Awesome.
The homophage groups are basically like, groups of like neo-Nazis or like fascists who are like openly homosexual. And yeah, you know how that doesn't like fly well with like the actual like, the other like neo-Nazi groups. So by default they're isolated as well. So two
I've heard it
isolated
said-
groups ended up with each other.
I've heard it said that like neo-Nazi culture is full of like repressed homoeroticism, but yeah, I guess that kind of proves that.
It's really weird. It's full of repressed homoeroticism. It's full of a bunch of people that are considered subhuman by like traditional Nazi standards. Like there's a lot of Eastern
Yeah.
Europeans, like people with Slavic genes. I say Slavic genes. A lot of people with Slavic ancestry.
Nothing about the ideology makes sense at the end of the day once it's held to scrutiny. It can only exist in like an echo chamber.
So did you ever when did you come to terms with your identifying yourself as non-binary, and did that was that before or
that
after?
was a long time ago.
So was this before or after you leaving the Neo?
It was before entering the groups.
Before entering so you were in middle school and you identified as non-binary? Or sorry,
Yep.
like you identified
No,
as
no,
non-binary since
All right, so I identified as non-binary like when I was, what do you call it, 15.
15. Okay.
That's
But-
high school.
Is that
But I
middle school
never-
where you're at, or is that
no,
high school?
that's high school. But the thing is, I wasn't in any groups yet. I was already identified as like, a Nazi, I guess. But
Were you
I never like interacted with the groups yet. I was like just like, watching stuff and like reading stuff, and that's it. When I started
And-
like interacting with the groups, I was like, I guess, what do you call it, 17, so like 2 years later.
and when you were
But I
17
never told them
and
about that.
you never okay, so you never told them about
Yeah.
And did you ever
Maybe there was
identify
like only
with
like a couple of people that I told like in private, and that's it.
and were they accepting of your identity?
Depends.
Like you
And also
were
depends on the way that I told them, because like some people I did not tell them that I was and I still am. Some people I told them like, oh, like back when I was like, young, I did have these kind of like stuff, and it's kind of like I fished stuff from them while I'm also giving them stuff. It's like, you know what I mean? So that, for example, like that one person that I told them this that way, he also said, yeah, I also identified as bisexual when I was in high school. I was like, oh, so I guess it wasn't just me.
Did you identify at all with any like homofash organizations or movements?
I did, and that's where I met her.
That's where you met her.
Yep.
And do you at
But
any
I didn't really identify with them. I just like hanged out with them. That's
got
it.
you?
But they weren't really organizations. They were just like group of friends, I guess.
Do you in any way like identify currently with like Nazi ideology, Nazi aesthetics, or in any way identify positively with anything Nazism currently, like
Nope.
today?
No,
Not at all.
I just still have like the banners and the books. That's basically it.
And you keep those?
Still have. Yep. I mean, I couldn't like sell them, so
What do you
That's a
keep
good
them
point.
for if you don't mind me asking? Like I'm not judging you.
all right. You you might judge me for it. I'm kind of a hoarder.
You're kind of a hoarder, okay. Do you still hold like I guess like feelings of like nostalgia or like sort of positive like feelings when you reminisce about your days as a Nazi because you've been a Nazi for like practically your whole upbringing.
Yeah. Well, there is like certain people that I never seen like anything bad from them, even though they're Nazis. Like they've been like I guess good friends or whatever. I guess yeah, I do kind of like miss talking to them, but then at the same time, like I just can't talk to them because
Hmm.
I don't want to like be dragged back into that or even like I guess starting like an argument with them by telling them that
That you've changed.
I don't agree. Yeah,
And what should I call you? What do you like? What's the name that you would go by right now?
oh just the name that I have on Discord right now. That's
Name you have in Discord.
or actually just
Crimson.
I guess Alexander. Alexander was good. I don't know.
Got you.
Because I just realized the name that I'm using right here is known by the homofash circles.
Oh, okay. I don't think I said the name out loud. I hope I didn't.
Yeah, no. Yeah, but this name is not known by like the other circles. It's kind of like weird.
Are you afraid of retaliation?
I'm afraid of consequences.
What kind of consequences? You don't have to. You don't have to say.
Well, there's some real life consequences.
Do you want me to end the stream? Do you want to talk privately?
No, it's all good. It's all good.
No, I was like wondering.
Um,
I'm genuinely wondering because like the.
No, it's all good. I mean, I guess
Would you want to talk privately
People should hear it
after the
anyways.
stream or like later?
sure it's all good if you
Yeah.
want.
Because I'd love to keep talking to you. Your story's very interesting.
But no, the thing is like if things come out, like I might get disowned.
Disowned by
family.
like family.
Yep.
For being a Nazi or for being non-binary?
The latter.
I'm really sorry to hear that. Horrible. I was disowned by my father for being a trans woman. It's yeah, that sucks. Sucks living in a household like that. Do you still live with them?
Yep.
I'm really sorry to hear that. Awful. Do you ever
No, but
see
the
a
thing is,
future
like,
where
The thing is, I do need to live here as well. Because the thing is, like where I live, the rents are too expensive.
Mhm.
This first thing, and the second thing, I cannot find a job. So I'm studying right now.
do you see a future after you're done with school where you can live your life out as non-binary? Or do you see yourself repressing and hiding it forever?
I mean, I don't know. It's kind of like there's there's it's like there's two people fighting inside of my head
Mm-hmm.
about that. So but yeah, the thing is like okay, this I feel like this would narrow it down too much, but I guess I have to say it.
You don't have to say anything.
Yeah, yeah, it's okay. But basically, like, I had to like leave my old job, and thing is, it's the only job that like accept my potential.
What'd you have to leave it for? You don't have to say. But was it like did they like figure something out about you, or did you just have to leave for other reasons?
Multiple reasons. One of the biggest ones I would say was like the um I guess I didn't really like my boss.
Fair.
That's one of the reasons. For like there was like certain things that I had my name signed into in that job, and my name like kept getting like unsigned from it by my boss. And it's kind of like reached the point where like I got really pissed off and I just like left and never attended. So I didn't even like quit, but I made them make me quit. You know what I mean? I know how to explain it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So they terminated you because you stopped showing up.
Yeah, but it's not like termination. It's like
Just like removed you.
yeah, it's like I can join the same job again, but I just don't wanna.
Understandable. Was it like an unsafe work environment for you?
I mean, depends on what you mean.
Yeah,
Unsafe?
not that you have to justify it. You don't have to talk about it.
That's okay, but it depends on what you mean by unsafe.
Like emotionally, was it just like way too much for you to deal with and be safe mentally?
I'll tell you something.
Okay.
I don't know the exact percentage, but I lost my hearing by more than 50% in my left ear from the job.
Oh my god.
Jesus. That's unfortunate.
You sue them for that?
Nope.
That's a pretty. Why can't you sue them for that? Is it because of where you live?
No, I mean I can, but it would be too much work.
Too much work.
Yeah, and also I can like, what you call it? Technically, I'm not sure if I still can, but like when it first happened, I could have fixed it.
Your hearing?
Yeah. I'm not sure if I still can or not. I haven't checked. But yeah, there was a lot of paperwork to do. And at the same time, I had a lot of work during that time. So I was like, yeah, my, what you call it? They already cut a lot of, what you call it? They cut a lot of payment from my salary. So I wasn't gonna like sacrifice my salary like for my ears, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, like I had like a full limit loan, so I still have it. Yeah, that's why my bank account is still locked, and that's why I need to finish studying so I could like find a new job.
Right. So you don't talk to anybody from the neo-Nazi movements anymore?
Nope. I mean, there are some people, but like, it's just like I guess once in what do you call it? Once in I don't know how long. You know what I mean?
Once in a blue moon?
Yeah, like there's this one guy who was like hanging out with them, but I wouldn't really call him a neo-Nazi anyways. He's not really that political. And the funny part, he's also Jewish.
Huh.
Yeah, and he texts me sometimes. He's the only one like from the old group that texts me.
Is he still in the group?
Yeah, I think he is. He actually told me to like come back to it,
Oh,
like after the people who
don't do that.
I mean,
Don't come back to it. I'm not here to tell you what to do, but don't do that.
one second. What was his name again?
You don't have to say his name.
No, I'm trying to like find his what do you call it? His messages.
Hmm.
What's the name of the Green Party candidate?
Jill Stein.
Jill Stein.
What about her?
What's the context around this interview?
Yeah, no, I'm trying to find his DMs through it because he did text me about her.
This person just showed up. Yeah, I was just playing
Right,
Mario
so-
64, and then a non-binary former neo-Nazi joined the call, and we had this really interesting. A lot more
Alright,
interesting
so-
lot more interesting than what I was gonna do otherwise.
He texted me
Really,
saying,
I was gonna tell you about how work went, and you were gonna be entertained.
all right, so here he texted me about like the server, which actually used to be my server, but I gave it to one of
Is it a
them, and
Discord
then
server?
He basically banned me from it. Yeah. He said we got nuked, and I think we lost contact with a person I shall not name. If you wanted to join back in the server, I said I don't. Leave me alone. I was like during that time I was like really pissed off at what happened. There was
You
like
should
a
still
little
be
bit
really
after,
pissed off about what happened.
There was like a little bit after what happened, so yeah. But I feel like I directed my anger at the wrong person here.
That's fair.
This game never doesn't.
I mean, here's
Never looks
I-
not fun.
What game?
Mario 64.
Oh, even when I'm
Every time I watch
fucking
somebody play
die.
it. Yeah, I saw that.
I keep. God damn it. Done with Mario. Over.
What are you playing on Switch?
Yeah, Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Switch TM.
yeah. Definitely Switch. My official Nintendo Switch.
Yes.
So Alexander, do you have anything else you want to talk about regarding to story here? Are there any other key that we missed?
Well, oh yeah, there was an article written about me.
Oh,
Yeah, no, actually, wait. I was featured in multiple articles, but this article was like written specifically about me.
What?
Yep.
interesting. What were the? I guess don't talk about the article.
I mean, dude, this server is gonna be on a list now.
Yeah. We're gonna get nuked.
Oh no! Don't worry. The article was written by neo-Nazis,
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay. Oh,
like as like an expose.
I don't know why. I thought you were like talking about Forbes or New York Times or something.
No.
The Washington
No, wait.
Post.
The other articles that was featured on it was like an Antifa articles, like a bunch of like Antifa like websites that put my
So no
Name there.
incredible.
yeah.
You engage in any political advocacy on the internet right now that's not neo-Nazi?
Not really.
You how did you find my Discord server? Was it just through Demi and the Goons, or are you up to date
Yep.
with like my current content and all my political stuff?
No, I was, as I said, I was going through my Google activity and I found my old comment, and I went to check on it, and yeah.
Was it a mean comment?
No, it wasn't. But
Interesting.
it was directed as a mean comment, but you you just took it as a non-mean comment.
Oh, did I just heart it?
Yeah, you did.
That's usually what I do when I get mean comments.
I mean, it wasn't really. Here, the thing is, I guess the first word would make it seem like a mean comment if you would take it as a mean comment, but then, and that's what I think, at least that's what I was going for when I wrote it
Mm-hmm.
during that time. That's what was going through my head when I wrote it. But from your response, it looks like you didn't take it as a mean comment.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna end the
I
stream
guess
now
it's
since
your
not a lot
fault.
of people are watching.
No.
No. Stream on
Wait, what
Discord.
was the
Stream on Discord now.
Yeah, I'll stream on Discord.